So I got an email from somebody asking, should I avoid liquids while I'm eating food? I know that this is a topic that a lot of people say you really need to run from the hills from water. So in this video, I'm going to help you understand, is this really problematic or is it kind of okay? Let's jump in.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
So the reason this is a controversial topic a little bit is because when we eat food, our stomachs make hydrochloric acid, or HCl. And this stomach acid is what we use to help us acidify that food so that we can break it down and so that we can get the nutrients out of that food. So that's a really big deal. And a lot of people feel like, well, if you're going to put a lot of water in there, then you're going to dilute that acid and you're not going to be able to break down your food correctly. And then everything's going to go horrible and your family is not even going to like you. So the problem is that this is not the same scenario for every person. And the problem is that it really is true that the water has the ability to dilute that hydrochloric acid to a point. And the reason that some people really find that they improve when they don't drink as much water is because a lot of people aren't making enough of that hydrochloric acid. So I used to feel that, wow, if you really had digestive issues, you couldn't drink any water near your food. And the reality is that the digestive process really needs some water to have that process function correctly. That's what helps that food all kind of mix together and break apart. And so we need a little bit of water going on. Don't feel like you can't drink any liquids during the time that you're eating food. That's just not the optimal way to do it. We want to have some water in there. But if somebody is not making enough hydrochloric acid, which is really common, maybe they're only making a little bit, or maybe they're not hardly making any at all, and you add water in that, then you're going to dilute the body's ability to try to break that food down. So that really can be problematic. A lot of people will have like a bacterial overgrowth in the stomach, and the waste product from that bacteria can be very alkaline. And so maybe the stomach is even more alkaline than it should be, and then the person isn't making enough acid on top of that. So that can really be a problem because the person already is having a hard time breaking down their food and acidifying it correctly. When they add a bunch of water to that, then that really can have the ability to dilute that. But instead of having people run from the hills from water, because we kind of need some water, I really like to see people fix that digestive malfunction. If they're not making enough stomach acid, I like to see them fix that, and then they can take some water in with their food and they're going to be fine. Now, another thing a person could do is if they're right on the fence and maybe they just need a little bit of help digesting when they're adding water in, is they could put some apple cider vinegar in that water. And that helps to acidify the food a little bit. It's not going to do as much as hydrochloric acid would, whether the body was making hydrochloric acid or whether a person was supplementing with betaine hydrochloric acid. Apple cider vinegar can give a little bit of a boost. Now, there are people who should not be using a whole bunch of apple cider vinegar because it has the ability to magnify some imbalances. So we'll put the link in the description below this video for our video on who should not use apple cider vinegar. And you can check that out to make sure that it's something that's appropriate for you to use. But if a person really has their stomach acid working correctly, or they're supplementing with enough betaine hydrochloride to really acidify their food correctly, then it's okay to take some water or liquids in with your meal and you're still going to be able to digest it. That hydrochloric acid was made to acidify the food with liquid in there. Just don't go nuts and drink a whole gallon of water while you're trying to have lunch, because that is going to create, you're going to be full of water. You're not even going to want to eat your lunch. But also, that much water does have the ability to dilute that process a little bit. I just don't want you to feel like you need to run from the hills from water. And I do want you to understand that a little bit of water in your stomach while you're eating really helps that digestive process. So don't feel like you can't have any liquid around your food at all. That's really not the reality of the situation. But to figure out the situation for you, you got to know, am I making enough hydrochloric acid so I can take some liquids in with my meal? So to figure out the situation for you, go ahead and jump over right now and watch our video on 10 signs of low stomach acid. And if you have a bunch of signs showing up that, hey, maybe I don't have enough stomach acid, then you'll want to take steps to improve that. But if none of those signs showed up and you appear to be making enough hydrochloric acid to really acidify your food, then drinking some liquid with your meals really isn't going to adjust how that digestive process works. Let us know how it goes.